Good evening and good morning. Welcome, everyone, to our first in real life event. While we're not exactly in real life, we chose this name to give you a behind the scenes look at Medha and to introduce you to the amazing people driving our work. We also like to throw some Gen Z phrases in there when we can because it makes us all feel a little bit younger. Before you hear from the team, let's take a quick look at what some of our students and alumni have been up to.
हर सुबह जब उठती हूँ ना तो ऐसी फीलिंग्स के साथ उठती हूँ कि आज कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा, आज कुछ नया करने को मिलेगा, बुरा हो अच्छा हो एटलीस्ट एक्सपीरियंस तो होगा। बैंक विजिट में देखा कैसे वर्क परफॉर्म होते हैं, वहाँ का लोन डिपार्टमेंट देखा और मनी कहाँ डिपॉजिट होते हैं, लॉकर कैसे होते हैं।
हमें मौका मिलता है एक कम्युनिटी का हिस्सा बनने का, जहां हमारे जैसे और भी स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं। यहां हम उनके साथ नॉलेज शेयरिंग कर सकते हैं, एक दूसरे से अपॉर्चुनिटी शेयर कर सकते हैं और एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रिलेशनशिप भी बिल्ड करते हैं।
So that was just a tiny glimpse of what our students and alumni are up to day in and day out. Building durable skills, gaining exposure to the world of work, from things as diverse as banking to automobile manufacturing to agriculture. And perhaps most importantly, building a community that will support them in their professional and personal lives, hopefully for years to come. We wanted to host this event for a few reasons, but one of the main ones was that we realized we often communicate with many of you one-on-one, but you don't always get a chance to interact with other team members and see a more holistic picture of the organization. This event gives us a chance to do just that, and hopefully, it will also be an opportunity for you to meet one another as well. Before we start, I just wanted to share that we are proud to report we've reached more than 400,000 students across 8 education departments in 4 of the largest states of the country. Our alumni earned 34% more than their peers when they enter the workforce, and they maintain that gap after 3 years on the job. This equates to 3,60,000 rupees or $4,000 a year, which is 4 times the GDP per capita in the states where we work. This is the difference between surviving at a very basic level of subsistence and moving closer to economic inclusion and independence, which is really our North Star for our students and our alumni, where they can save, they can invest, and they can have more choices in their professional and personal lives. Lastly, we also wanted to do this event to try to raise the bar and promote greater transparency. Why do publicly traded companies report to their shareholders quarterly, while we nonprofits may or may not share an annual report or only put something together when it's required by funders or regulators? As an organization funded by philanthropic money, we wanted to be as open and as accountable as possible, not just about our finances, but also about our impact, our challenges, and our learnings. Before I hand it over to the team, I just wanted to say that this is our first time doing something like this, so it might be a little bit rough around the edges, but we hope that the objective is served, and we will work to improve these and future editions. To give you a quick overview of what to expect, we'll start by sharing a little bit more about our impact, because that really is the most important thing that we do. Then we'll take a closer look at our programs and how we work with young people, companies, and the education system every day. And lastly, we'll zoom out and discuss the organizational health and growth, the team, operations, and financials. And with that, I'll hand it over to Maryam and Swati, who have both been with Medha for close to a decade. They've played a critical role in building the systems and culture required for us to measure our impact and use those learnings to improve what we do every day. Over to you, Maryam.
Thanks, Chris. You've already heard the big picture. Medha alums earn more, enter the workforce earlier, and 28% cross the critical income threshold within 5 years of graduation. Now we'd like to take you behind the numbers to share the insights guiding us, to accelerate and deepen impact, and the questions we are exploring to unlock new opportunities for students, alumni, and the public education systems. To improve career outcomes, students must first be career ready. And we have a strong evidence that our students are better prepared for work. Our RCT found that Medha students were 32% more likely to have a readily shareable CV, 15% more likely to have used a job portal, and 15% more likely to have completed an internship. All very significant differences between our students and a control group of students. But is this enough to change career trajectories? While the income data Chris shared is encouraging, we believe there is more to do. Firstly, how can we increase workforce participation? 3 years after graduation, our alumni show an 8% increase in workforce participation over their peers. But we want to raise this further. Secondly, how can we improve female labor force participation? Our alumni rate is 33%, twice the regional average of 15%, yet still far below global standards. Lastly, how can we accelerate economic inclusion? 5 years after graduation, 28% of our alumni reached the critical income threshold of Rs 30,000 per month, which is about $4,000 a year, enabling them to save and invest. But more alumni need to achieve this milestone. Over to Swati now, who will share some interesting insights from tracking our alumni over a long period of time.
Thanks, Maryam, for sharing those strong data points and where we would want to take them further. We've been looking at some of the key drivers of improved career and economic outcomes, and I found a few interesting insights. We found that students from the higher income bracket we track, that is more than $8 per day, earn nearly twice as much as their lower income peers, while outcomes across lower income groups are largely similar. So while we are naturally working towards income equality at a national level by focusing on this geography, we need to do more to ensure we're fostering equality at a local level within the communities we serve. We also found that students who complete an internship are twice as likely to join workforce earlier. How can we increase the percentage of students completing internships from 15% to 30% and beyond? Lastly, geographic mobility is a key factor in career growth and income. How can we support students in navigating family expectations and create an environment that enables them to pursue opportunities beyond their hometowns? These insights and questions shape our program design, implementation, and conversations with students, parents, employers, the government, and our internal teams. We've heavily invested in evidence and learning systems, from our MIS to our alumni surveys and multiple RCTs, but still need stronger data to quickly see what's working and what isn't. Next, we hear from Shubhra, who leads the co-program team that applies these insights to classrooms, companies, and communities, turning ideas into action every day.
Thanks, Swati. Saurabh and I will try and share a closer look at the programs on the ground that makes this impact possible. The data that Maryam shared is powerful, but real change sometimes appears in more subtle ways, like young women leaving their hometowns in UP to take up their first jobs in new cities and sometimes new states, or faculty members working with their employers to get job opportunities for the students and also working hard to create communities of like-minded teachers across the state. While stories like these give us a lot of energy and motivation, our goal is really how to encourage and support more such young people and teachers, because they are the ones that will really change the norm and the system. Also, having worked with young people for almost 15 years now, we know that young people want to learn, they want to improve their skills and really succeed in the workplace. Similarly, faculty and administrators that we work with want to make a difference and want to improve the system for everyone. But it's challenging. For young people, the competition is fierce and the number of quality jobs is limited. Access to the right networks, right opportunities, the things that can really change the game for someone, is out of reach for many of these young people. And for faculty and administrators that we work with, the system really enforces the status quo, limits their autonomy. And this is really where we step in. For students, our transferable skills program places them in a significantly better position to start and advance in their careers. And for faculty and administrators, we facilitate their continuous professional development so that they have the support and encouragement required to bring new pedagogies, new practices, both inside and outside of the classroom. As we work with these young students and teachers, we treat every campus like a learning lab, really. Every decision that a student or a teacher makes, whether to accept or reject an internship, whether to go all in on a new teaching methodology or completely check out, tells us something about whether our programs and the system in general are working or not. This year, we're testing some new adjustments to our programming to see if we can improve or speed up some results. We're trying shorter internships and freelance gigs to really lower the barrier to just getting started. We're connecting students with more interest aligned mentors to help them navigate their career journeys better. We're also getting more hands on with employers to bring better opportunities and really manage the whole life cycle from JD to joining. We are testing these as well as other new approaches to our programming with nearly 5,000 students and 2,500 faculty members across 100 campuses this year. Uh, while we believe that lasting systems change happens one student, one teacher, and really one campus at a time, we are currently working with 8 educational departments to ensure that the incentives, the resources, and the capabilities are aligned to support the systems change and help it grow and multiply so that we can impact 1 million young people in our areas of operation. Saurabh, who leads our system adoption work here at Medha, will walk you through how we are trying to scale our impact in partnership with the systems. Over to you, Saurabh.
Thank you, Shubhra. In addition to the continuous professional development work Shubhra discussed, we are collaborating with the education and industrial systems on 2 additional key levers that we believe have an outsized impact on career outcome. The first is Industry Connect. Here, we are building the systems, capabilities, and incentives necessary for academic institutions for their administrators to establish long-term, mutually beneficial relationships with leading companies in their regions. The second is alumni counties. We are fostering student and alumni activities both on and off campus that promote networking, mentorship, and peer support over the long term. To make this work successful and sustainable, we are supporting the government and industry through dedicated project management teams, tech-enabled performance management systems, and empirical evidence for policy implementation. Working with youth is 15 to 24 across the school to work spectrum from 9th grade, vocational and technical education to higher education and into the workforce gives us unique advantage and opportunity. This allows us to do 3 important things. First, you can identify gaps that need to be addressed earlier in students' learning or career journey and actually take action by making changes before it's too late. For example, we are providing workplace exposure or experience while they're still in secondary education. Second, we are able to bridge the siloed nature of government department and the gap between academia and industry to reduce overlapping work and information asymmetry. For example, we companies are going in a particular region may be available with the Department of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, but not the Department of Vocational Education. And third, we can make policy recommendation that consider not just one department's or ministry priorities, but the broader challenges faced by the entire school to work continuum. For example, increasing female labor force participation required comprehensive and transformative reforms to the education and employment systems, rather than short-term measures to boost women enrollment in vocational education. Looking ahead, we know working with the systems takes time. Many things are beyond our control. But we have spent the last several years building trust-based relationships with these 8 departments. And as a result, we believe we are well positioned to speak and speed up change from within. As this work expands, our team grows and increases its capabilities. We believe we can have an even bigger impact on how the education and industrial system prepare and cater better career opportunity for youth. This year, in addition to our work with 8 departments in 4 states, as Shubhra shared earlier, we are also starting to work with Department of Training and Technical Education in Delhi NCR. With that, I will pass it to Afzal and Krithika, who leads our finance and partnership team, to provide an overview on our financial situation and future plans.
Thanks, Shubhra and Saurabh. I am going to walk you through how we fund and sustain this work. where we are financially as an organization and what we are working on to improve our financial health and sustainability. Over the last 3 years, our budget has grown from 13 crore to 16 crore, which means $1.5 million to $1.9 million. And this year, it is projected at 22 crore, which means $2.5 million. 70% growth since 2023. We have been able to increase our budget thanks to our strong fundraising efforts. We have raised close to 75 crore, which means $8.5 million over the same period. Efficient use of funds and proactive financial management. But what matters more is how we spend this money and the social return we generate from it. 70% of our budget is spent on team and activities that directly work with student, industry, and government partners. 15% is spent on our people, finance, and admin team and all operating expenses. Of this, we have spent close to 20% on the learning and development for the team. 10% is spent on evidence building learning system technology that enable us to track our impact and improving our programming. 5% is spent on marketing, communication, and partnership development activities that strengthen our brand and enable us to attract world-class financial and non-financial partners. Most importantly, each year we calculate a 1-year and 3-year return on investment, where the return is the salary difference between our alumni and the similar youth in this region. And the investment is what we spend to get one student into an income-generating opportunity. We are proud to report that this year our 1-year return on investment is 72% and our 3-year return on investment is 223%. That means for the 22 crore, which is $2.5 million we will spend this year, our alumni will earn 16 crore, which means 1.8 million more income than their peers in just 1 year. Over to Krithika, who will tell you more about our fundraising efforts.
Thanks, Afzal. To strengthen our financial health and to increase our impact over the next few years, we are focused on raising rupees 225 crores, which amounts to $25 million over the next 3 years. 45 crores of which, that is $5 million, has already been secured. Increasing our share of flexible or less restrictive funding, which is currently at 20%, to enable us to invest in capacity building, evidence for policy change, and research and development. Diversifying our funding sources to include more domestic CSR and foundations and start to generate donations from individuals. Capacity building of our finance and partnership teams to handle the increasing funding and partnerships. Behind these numbers is something even more valuable, our people. I hand it over now to our dear colleague Anubha, who leads our people team, to tell us what makes Medha go. Over to you, Anubha.
Thanks, Afzal and Krithika. So far, we have talked about our financial health, our impact, and our program. But trust me, none of this is possible without the people who power Medha. So let's talk about them. Today, we are over 160 plus people working across 8 regions and 4 states. This number was just half before COVID. Yes, this growth is really incredible. And with it, our focus has become very clear. Creating a workplace where people feel supported, valued, and able to grow. As we all know, hiring in social sector is never easy, especially when it comes to finding domain experts. Knowing this, we have always chosen to invest in our own people, helping them grow both laterally and vertically. To achieve this, over the past few years, we have strengthened 3 key areas. 1. Professional development across all levels. 2. Leadership training for first-time managers. 3. Stronger systems for feedback, growth, and internal mobility. Here at Medha, roles and growth are not bound by titles or tenure. For example, any program person might step into a data lead role, while a generalist may discover a passion for design and join the design team. Just last year, 20% of our team transitioned into new roles, proving that when we say growth and mobility are possible, we really mean it. Now, let me tell you about our team mix.
With an average age of 30, we are a diverse mix of recent graduate, fellowship alumni, mid-career professionals, and true career switchers. Out of 160 plus people, 21 are Medha alumni. We call them Medhavis. And over 90% of our team comes from the regions we serve. We are also proud of our gender balance. Today, we have a 49:51 female to male ratio, and more than 50% of our senior leadership and board are women. We know that we are far from perfect and constantly trying to improve as an organization and people team. With that, I will hand it back to Chris to share the closing remarks.
Thank you, Anubha, and everyone for giving us that behind-the-scenes look at why we do what we do, how we do it, and the people and the partners that make it happen. Speaking of partners, I want to personally thank all of you who have joined us today and the dozens of funding, academic, industry, and government partners we have worked with over the last 15 years. We truly see this as a coalition of vision-aligned organizations collectively working to create an India with equal career opportunities for youth. We hope today is a small opportunity to bring that coalition together, and we look forward to continuing and growing this in real life event in the future. As you have heard today, we're in a pretty good position to achieve our goal of reaching 1 million students in the next 3 years. But as we all know, reaching students is not impact. Hopefully, in the words of everyone who spoke today, it's clear that our singular focus is on making sure we're having a significant impact on the career outcomes of our students, and that over time, their agency increases in addition to economic independence. We will continue to do everything in our power to make sure we deliver on this promise, and we're privileged to be working with many of you to achieve this ambitious mission. With that, we will open this up to all of you. If you have any questions or thoughts that came to mind during the presentation, we'd love to hear them and encourage discussion. If you would like more details or have a separate discussion with us, please feel free to reach out.